is a company which is made out of passion for solving a need. The need to enable people.
Be-Able is one of those companies that came up from Center for Healthcare Entrepreneurship. They got registered as a startup in 2017.
It is well known that India suffers close to 18 lakh strokes every year. That's 3 strokes every minute. And in the world, there is a stroke which happens once every 2 seconds. The impact that stroke has on people is huge. And the number of people that get disabled due to this are many.
In India, there are a large number of stroke patients, and many of them are not able to get a proper rehabilitation, possibly because many of these rehabilitations are very expensive and also do not really bring out an innovative way of handling that.
The co-founders Habib Ali and Srihari had spent several hours and days in rehabilitation clinics, in physiotherapy clinics, finding out what are the nodes that are happening in the case of stroke patients. How do the rehabilitation happens in stroke patients, and what are the pain points in rehabilitation?
During my fellowship at CFHE IIT Hyderabad, I underwent an immersion training at a lot of hospitals throughout the city, where we found out that there is a need for intensive and engaging rehabilitation.
So they found that there is a big gap in the clinic on what is actually happening in terms of stroke rehabilitation.
I've interacted with a lot of patients and therapists and found that this is a very pressing need. This drove us to go ahead and take this up as a challenge and solve this problem.
With these problems in their mind, they came up with what we call as the ArmAble, which is a perfect rehabilitation platform for the upper arm of a stroke patient.
So the first made a concept, we made a very quick prototype, took it to the clinics and tested with patients and physiotherapists. We took feedback from close to 10 physiotherapists and around 10 patients. We learned a lot from that exercise, but we realized this was a beginning and we had a positive reinforcement that this is something which may work. So we quickly made changes according to the feedback, and there was ready our prototype 2. Now when we tested with our prototype 2, it was a very positive sign. It said that this is a concept which will actually work. And then we started understanding what the user needs are. We saw what the patient needs, we saw what the therapist needs. And then we started iterating on that, and there was a repeated back and forth process where we kept going to the field, testing our product, get feedback, come back and reiterate our product. And this cycle repeated over a few times for us to reach to where we are today. ArmAble is aimed towards solving the need for intensive and engaging rehabilitation therapy for patients with upper limb motor deficiency.
So we designed ArmAbleGame keeping in mind the real users or patients that we say is from traumatic brain injury, stroke, cerebral palsy, frozen shoulders or fractures. We have seen that there is less technology interventions in this area, and also the reason why people drop out. When we actually went into the field, when we spoke to the physiotherapist, when we talked to the patients, we understood that there are a lot of problems that needs to be addressed in this area.
Our focus has been to use technology and design to make the end product simple to use and affordable. We believe that using simple design interventions, we can get people to recover faster and make them enabled.
So one of the interesting points that Be-Able found was that you can really be having an engaging physiotherapy where the patient can enjoy physiotherapy and get engaged with physiotherapy with a virtual environment. So in fact, the ArmAble is a virtual platform which is gamified so that they get engaged with physiotherapy, and the entire outcomes of physiotherapy is purely quantified in ArmAble product.
We understood that there is a need for an affordable Indian-based product that cater into our patients that can relate. The patients can relate to. Our ArmAbleGame device is already preloaded with a software called V1, and V1 is a platform that connects devices, patients, therapists, and hospitals all together into one platform. We spoke to a lot of patients and we spoke to a lot of physiotherapists. All these inputs we understood. A patient gets motivated when he is seeing his improvement. How do we visualize that? We made a very simple way of visualizing their improvement in terms of graphs, in terms of animations, in terms of small figures that actually helps him to understand how much improvement he has done from day one over a period of time. And this is the motivation factors that can help them to stick on to the therapy itself. In terms of the reports that we generate, the physiotherapist can see and visualize in a very simple way that how his course of therapy is happening. We see games which are imported from other countries are not able to relate by the patients from India. So we understood the problem they are facing, that the relatability issues, and we understood that there are games which we can replicate and we can mimic that arm movements that they are doing in the real life in our game itself. Device and our applications are helping patients, our games, especially our games, are helping patients to recover. And when we see them enabled and coming back into the life, that is the impact, and that is what makes us to drive forward and innovate more on the different devices that is required for the patients to recover. We make it very simple, like making chapati. And the other game is like painting. When you are giving a freedom and a very simple canvas, a white canvas, you can paint anything, and that is where your creativity can really come into the segment.
The number of therapists and the number of patients who need therapy, there's a huge gap in this. We need to ensure that these therapists are not overburdened and can provide the same quality of therapy to all their patients. Innovative tools and devices which we design at Be-Able are catered to help these therapists reduce the burden of physical strain, reduce the burden of administration. It helps to monitor the patient's adherence, make sure the patients are motivated and continue therapy.
Be-Able, I'm very happy that they are addressing one specific issue in the healthcare, that is basically rehabilitation, particularly of stroke patients. So that is something which I see unique in the ArmAble that has been brought out by Be-Able, where they are introducing gaming as a way to make their arms much better and strengthen their arms through this gaming, which is a very, very intuitive and innovative way. And I think because people love to play games, whether it's a small child or an elderly person, and with that, I think the fact that he is actually doing an exercise is even forgotten. So, and as a result, people will be able to do it with a lot of interest. Whenever you do anything with interest, there will be a result much more easily than when you are doing it with somebody forcing you from behind. So I think this is a wonderful product. I'm very sure it's going to be a grand success, not only within the country but abroad. I have already heard that a number of users overseas also started using it. Some people are even doing further research in certain universities abroad using this, and I have no doubts to say that this is going to be in almost every home wherever there is a stroke patient in the years to come. And I wish you all the best in all the endeavors that you are taking and improving this product more and more as a user. Thank you.